One, two, three. Back in the place to be. Welcome back to a new live session. Ask me anything. Something was stuck. Hola, Denise. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Confidence tips. Could you be a little bit more specific? Isaiah, listen, I wrote a whole chapter on confidence. I suggest you send me an email, and I'll send you the chapter for free. This is my email. And I'll get that right to you. The thing is, I've talked about confidence so many times, like at least 200 times on these live sessions already. It just gets old for me to continuously repeat myself. Denise, todo bien. Espero que tienes un día muy linda. So shout out to Denise. She is one of my longtime clients from Puerto Rico. If you're trying to work with me, like Denise, and do this in a private setting, you can email me, lorenz.reese@gmail.com. Andrew, hey, Lorenz, are you aware of the spike in violence against Asians in America? Yeah, I heard about it. Since COVID, there's been a spike. I mean, what do I think about it? What is there to say? It is what it is, man. People are always going to be, that's always going to exist in this world. There's too many dumb people making dumb kids. And as a result, you're always going to have racism. You're always going to have closed-minded people. I don't really think I've read about it. I know about it, but it's not like I go around thinking. I was just telling someone the other day, if you want evidence that the world is a shitty place, if you're looking for reasons to find, to prove that the world is a shitty place, that's really easy to find. Like you can find proof on every street corner that people are not that good, and that life is, in general, not that good. The challenge is to not let that impact you, to not let that lead you astray, to not let that get off your course. The challenge is to develop some type of positive tunnel vision where you're just kind of focused on your own little world. And I talk about that a lot. I also talk about that in the book, where you basically, you really have to treat life like a video game, and you really have to treat life like you have to make your own reality. Because if you're going to follow the reality that the media creates, a lot of people, they're living in the media matrix. What that means is they're living in the world that the media has created. So, I mean, if you're reading the newspaper, you literally have no other choice but to believe that the world sucks, because 70% of the news is very negative, right? Unfortunately, it has become standard practice for most people to just follow the media, listen to the media, and then, take that information and project it onto their surroundings. I read media too, don't get me wrong. But it's important that you just kind of like, you really have to create your own reality. And some people can call that being delusional, call that being crazy, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, there's too many reasons out there. There's too many opportunities for you to get down on yourself, get down on life and everything, in between it. So if you're gonna go looking for it, you're gonna find it. What is your exercise routine for today? Oh man, yesterday I had like a minor food poisoning. I was dumb. I had cereal with this type of cocoa milk that had literally been in the fridge for like 3 weeks. It's not supposed to be in there for longer than 4 days once opened. And I drank it, messed up my stomach, slept really bad. And this morning, my stomach was all messed up. I'm going to spare you the details, but I think you can fill in the blanks. So when you're in a state like that, it's hard to work out. So what I did is I went and did body weight calisthenics exercises. And I did 3 sets of forehand pull-ups. I did 3 sets of leg raises for the core, and I did 2 sets of underhand pull-ups for the bicep. That was good though. I'm happy with that. I already went on a hike as well. I'm gonna go on a second hike later. What's up, bands? Dumb people breed more than smart people. Yep, we're outnumbered. What do you do for a living? So I coach people. I do private coaching. You can hire me if you send me an email here. Like I said, shout out to Evanise, who is in the chat right now. She's one of my Puerto Rican clients. I'm currently writing my book. Obviously, I got my YouTube channel. And that's about it. Mike, since getting cancer, have people behaved differently towards you? I mean, of course. Have you noticed a darker side to some people's personalities that you didn't notice before getting cancer? And same for the genuine ones. So I'm going to assume that you're referring to people that already knew me, right? So obviously, I can talk about all of the strangers that give me dirty looks or that just look at me like, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, I've never looked better than now. Like, this is the best my facial reconstruction has looked since my surgery. So it used to be way worse. My jaw literally disappeared at one point, right? So this is great. Now, in terms of people that I knew treating me, it's funny because when I got really sick initially, everybody, basically, when people think you're gonna die, everybody loves you, which makes sense, right? Everybody's basically like, very supportive. And yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is, like if you're just down and out, no one is gonna be like, yo, fuck you, you deserved it, So that was, I can't say anything about that. I had a bunch of support and all that. People visit me. What I did notice was that once I started recovering, so once I started climbing out of my situation and slowly improving, mentally, physically, everything, the same people that used to show a lot of love, kind of like as I started catching up to them in some ways, that love kind of diminished. And that's why I always say most individuals in this world, they will grade you on an internal scale, right? They have a scale of success in their minds where they see themselves on the ladder of society. And if you are higher than them on that ladder, they will probably not like you. It's like they want you to do good, but not too good. And they sure as hell don't want you to do better than them. There's just not that many people that genuinely want you to do as good as you can. People just kind of want to they want to stay near to you, like you have to stay in their little stratosphere, especially the ones that you've known for a long time. Like I've learned that long-time friends, people who have come up with you, are usually, your biggest critics. And they're usually the ones who get the most insecure when you get actual success or something like that. So, yeah. How many countries have you been to? I lost count. I mean, I've been basically everywhere in Europe, besides a few countries in Eastern Europe. Yeah. Aside from that, America, Colombia, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Thailand, Bali, Indonesia, obviously. And then everywhere in Europe, like I said. I think that's about it. Never been to Africa, never been to Russia, never been to Australia, never been to Canada. Is there a permanent, reoccurring discomfort to having part of your jaw missing, or do you just get used to it? Yeah, there is a permanent discomfort that you get used to, but it's still like it's still a discomfort. Um, of course, especially now since I had surgery a couple of weeks ago. As you can tell, I got this infection on the front of my chin. I still can't eat the way I cannot eat the way I used to. Yeah, no, it's like I don't have the eating. Eating is just hard. Eating is hard in any type of capacity. Obviously, I prefer to eat pasta, rice, soft things, but because I don't have bottom teeth, so I can't take like a big bite out of anything. Um, Talking is hard. I actually prefer to speak in English because it's easier for me to speak in English. The Dutch language needs a lot more lip in terms of making the phonetic sounds, right? My bottom lip is messed up. It doesn't really move much. I actually, if you pay close attention, I actually make the sounds that I make with by using my tongue as my bottom lip. I actually use my tongue to bite from a sandwich as well. If I'm eating a sandwich, I put it in between my upper teeth and my tongue, and I rip it out like that, which is also something I just had to get used to. No, but there's a permanent discomfort there for sure. Sometimes drool comes out. Like I said, eating is always hard. Mm, you get used to it, but it's still there, if that makes sense. But yeah, I cannot allow myself to dwell on that every day. The same way you cannot allow yourself to dwell on the things that are going bad in your life every day. Like you, at one point, you just have to move on. You just have to keep it moving. Fortunately enough for me, I was able to do that quite quick because I was like, "It is what it is, man. It is what it is." Alex, hey man, hope everything is going well. Appreciate it. Mike, brilliantly answered. Learned a lot from it. Thank you. Thanks for the question, man. You guys are asking good questions. I appreciate that. Some other lives, I got really shitty questions, which is not nice. What's up, Neelan? Ryan, how did you become and stay confident? People always want me to talk about confidence. All right, I'm gonna first. I wrote I got a whole chapter on that in my book. The book is called The Rotten Lemons. It comes from the saying, "When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade." Yeah, but what do you do when life gives you rotten lemons, right? So if you want that free chapter, send me an email. But as you're the third person asking, um, so basically, I figured out that in order for me to become confident, I had to go by perception as reality, which is very close to fake it till you make it. So what that means is confidence basically stems from the feedback that you get from other people. Now, what I mean by that is I learned that in order for me to be able to to become confident, I had to somehow achieve a state of mind in which people would give me feedback that would make me feel confident, right? And the easiest way to get there, what I found in my personal experience, is that in the beginning, you just kind of have to fake it. You just have to like delude yourself into hyping yourself up. So the way I did it was people would stare at me all the time, but I would convince myself that they were looking at my shoulders because I would train a lot. I would be like, yeah, they're jealous of my delts, even though obviously I knew they were looking at my face. But somehow I was able to like bypass, you know, my my consciousness and just like tell myself that, which is like a very tough mental exercise to do, but I successfully pulled it off. There's ways you can aid that type of state of mind by means of caffeine and other supplements. By the way, not talking about cocaine or anything like that. By the way, um, so that being said, I basically started carrying myself as if I had the utmost confidence in everything. What I also figured out was I never met anyone who had gone through what I had gone through. So I figured out, well, I really did something unique. Like I got my jaw sawed off, and I'm still here. Now let's see how far I can push this and how good I can put my life back together. And I figured out quite quickly that I was good at it, right? So by pretending or convincing myself that I was a confident person, people start looking at me, and I could tell that, you know, everyone has insecurities. So they're looking at me like, how is this dude walking around with that type of swagger, with that type of confidence, with that type of self love when I'm over here insecure about, something minor like, my ears are too big. And it's kind of like this reinforcing system where people would look up to me and be like, yo, wow, I really admire your positivity, yada, 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 your strength. And then because of that, it's like if you act confident for long enough, people will treat you like a confident person, and therefore perception is reality. You will become an actual confident person. Like you actually you make it go into existence. And that's what I mean by the reception is reality. If someone like real is a very subjective term. It's all about what people think and feel and like that's reality. So if you can make people feel like you have the real confidence, then you have the real confidence. It's no longer fake. For example, I don't want to get distracted, but for example, artificial intelligence is not really artificial when you think about it. If they can think by themselves, it's no longer artificial, it's real. You can, and that's the rabbit hole of the debate that you can go into. Like people always talk about what's natural, what's not natural. If you can, at the end of the day, something is natural if it's there. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it wouldn't be. You know, it comes from somewhere. It comes from natural components. Of course, the process. Well, I'm not going to get distracted. The point is, perception is reality, and that's a mental exercise that you have to do for yourself. But again, I'm actually not. I'm doing myself a disservice by explaining it like this and trying to. And it sounds really simplistic. I wrote a whole chapter on it, and if you want the chapter, then send me an email, and I'll just send it to you for free. As simple as that. Hold on, let me catch up. Um, what is London like? I didn't like London. It was cold, expensive, and I got into a couple of fights, man. I mean, people wanted to fight me for some reason. A lot of Chas, you call them? But yeah, maybe that was just a bad day. Risk cousins. What's the most important life lesson you've learned in your entire life? Tomorrow doesn't exist. Planning doesn't matter because, um, and people who have never experienced bad health have no idea what it means to be unhealthy. You're even today, like with Corona, with COVID, there's a bunch of people mounting off talking about, you know, screw these masks and let's just nature do its work. You're like, I guarantee you, those are all people who have never spent a day in the hospital. Someone as myself who has spent months in the hospital, like, not being able to take care of yourself, trust me, you have no idea what health means until you actually go through something severe. So just like there's nothing more important than health, period, which for me is like, I'm in better shape physically and probably mentally than 90% of my peers. Like the people who I went to college with and stuff, most of them are obese. They're balding. They're not in shape because they went all in on the paper chase. They went all in on money, buying a house, buying a car, and it's like it's funny to me because I had cancer twice, but I'm in better shape because I understood that the only thing that matters is health and this meat vehicle that we call our body. Like our body is the space shuttle to our soul. So ever since my cancer, I've been going 500% on my body. Like all I care about is having a healthy, strong body, and I want to get better. Because that's the only thing that they can't take away. Everything else is just kind of for show. Doesn't really matter. I had a lot of money when I was in the hospital when I got sick initially, and guess what? Those numbers in my bank account they didn't help me at all. They couldn't help me. So those are a few things that I learned. Um, you know, Also that people always seem to think it's never going to happen to them. Like such and such gets cancer, but yeah, it's not going to happen to me until one day it's you. Evanese, for you, what is the more difficult language to learn? Huh. Mm. I mean, I guess French was my hardest language to learn. I still prefiero español, la verdad. Y tengo que practicar más, tengo que mejorar mi castellano, pero el francés estaba el más duro. The French was the hardest for me. I hated French, and it was mandatory because I'm from Belgium. That was the hardest for me. Mais je peux parler le français, mais Je ne l'aime pas. Respectable how great your physique is despite the difficulty with eating. Thank you, man. It's so hard to gain muscle when you can't eat properly. Like I'm consistently under eating, you know? It's really hard, but it is what it is. The footage is frozen. Well, I can't do anything about that. Snake, would you consider doing a live stream with LFA? For sure, man. Shout out to LFA. I would love that. Actually, I gotta make that happen. We actually said we were gonna do that like a year ago, and then it never happened. No, I want to get on there. Do you ever look for red flags in new people that you meet? And if so, what kind of red flags tend to stick out for you? I don't actively look for red flags when I meet new people. I feel like that's a bad, mindset to have. Because again, if you're looking for proof that the world sucks, you can find proof in every street corner. If you're looking for proof that people suck, you can find it in every encounter. That's easy. Like if you want to find negativity, it's very easy to find. Um, I notice red flags. I notice stuff. Just body language, little insecure reactions, little snarky, lines, um, energy. I can feel people. Like I know that sounds so ridiculous. I can feel, but I can feel the vibe really well in those cases. Um, but even then, sometimes I don't see it coming. Like I made a video about this story, right? I made this really good friend in Barcelona who was one of my best friends. Like he was a new friend, and we developed a friendship, very intense. And at one point, we had a 2 year friendship, and like every other month, he would talk to me about he had an altercation or a discussion with someone, his cousin or his someone in his family or a friend. And basically, every other month or so, he would basically tell me about something that happened with someone and that he had to cut that person off, right? And because I liked the guy so much and I felt, we had such a strong bond in my mind, I never even questioned, like, I wonder what the other side of the story was. I always assumed that he was right and that he rightfully cut out that person. And he would specifically say, yeah, and I blocked him and I deleted them and I don't want to listen or talk to their explanation anymore. That was like really something that would stand out. And then one day, something happened. Like, well, I want to say something happened, but nothing even really happened. I ran into him on the street. He was with his girlfriend. I made a joke that we make between us all the time, like a nickname that he came up with in the first place, right? Not to get too specific, but long story short, like 2 days later, I get this long ass text of him telling me, like, I can't believe you said this and that and la 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 la. And then he before I could reply, I saw that he had blocked me, and not just on WhatsApp, but also on Instagram. And that's when I realized, like, oh shit, it was my turn. It was my turn to be you know, the toxic friend. And I understood it that right then and there that I had wrongly judged all of the people before me and always assumed that they were in the wrong. And then I realized that he was going to talk to me about someone that day and be like, yeah, I cut that motherfucker off because he was. So that was interesting. I hope that answers your question. What's up, Scorilani? What's up, Jimenez? Shout out to the Bronx, BX. Aiden, bless all people who look on the inside when choosing their friends. What's up, Alex? Nealon, actually, quite a few of those people spend a substantial amount of time in the hospital, including from COVID, due to their lack of precautions, and they still go in on the anti-mask stuff. Well, if you went to the hospital for COVID and you had it rough, and you come out talking about, you know, masks are silly, then I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like, it is what it is. It is what it is. And it's funny because I mean, I just saw a friend of mine, a fellow influencer, YouTube, Instagram personality, literally just now talking about on his Instagram story that you shouldn't wear a mask and that it's better to just breathe fresh air. And it's just like, yeah, COVID has definitely mm, exposed a lot of people in terms of like their ability of logical thinking But yeah, I don't want to get too much on that stuff, man. It's all love. I'm not trying to like. It is what it is. People need to do what they need to do, man. It is what it is. How do you deal with knowing you want something near impossible? What do I want? What do I want? LD. Those were my initials. By the way, guys, if you like the video, you're always welcome to make a donation. Hit up the dollar sign below the chat box. It's called Super Chat. And you can support the channel. I'm scared of having cancer. Actually, I'm scared of parents being sad about the sickness. I don't have it, but I'm terrified. So you are already basically living as if you have cancer. So if you're scared about having cancer, you might as well have cancer. You know, it just sounds to me when you think like that, like you're lacking purpose, you're lacking a goal in your life. You're just like floating through life, and you have too much time and too much energy on your hands. So you just go and create these mental hurdles. If you actually go out in the real world and try to look for tangible goals, you'll find enough stuff that's hard to deal with, and you won't actually have to make up stuff. Like, there's nothing to be scared about until you have cancer. Like, until it happens, why would you already live like that? You know what I mean? See that. How often do you compare yourself to others nowadays? I know this sounds incredibly, like it doesn't sound sincere, but don't like, I just don't compare myself that much in general. I compare my physique in the gym. I compare my physique. That I do absolutely. I'll look at my physique and I'll look at another guy like, he's got me beat with the legs or the back or whatever. Physique, like, not talking about the face, strictly physique. I compare. Like, that's just me being in my, that's 16 years of bodybuilding for you. But I don't compare my living situation. I don't compare my career. I don't compare my face. I don't compare my. The thing is, I have a very big ego, so it's like this, the same ego that helped me overcome my cancers. So even though I'm probably doing the worst out of all of my peers, I still somehow feel like I'm ahead of them, like because I think more. It's this weird thing. Um, but yeah, I honestly can say that I don't compare myself that much. Yeah. Shout out to my girlfriend, man. Mana's pumping. I just got some mana like an hour ago. We're heavy in the crypto, by the way, and she's my advisor right there. That's my crypto advisor, and she told me to get in on the mana.
You better sell fast.
Ooh, why?
Maybe it drops again.
Yeah. Is it pumping really hard?
Yeah, it's like it was this morning. It was at 80 something, and now it's at 1.12. I think.
Jesus.
Maybe some beer.
You deserved it. All right. Do you believe in any conspiracy theories? Absolutely, yeah. For example, 9/11, inside job, for sure. But not all. I don't think COVID was made in a lab, for example. What do you think about atheism? Nothing wrong with it. People can believe what they want. What's up, Danny? Viking, do you think social media has ruined the world to a large extent? Yes, I do. I think social media is the root of the majority of the issues that we have today. Yep. Crying hippie. Ethan is diagnosed with cancer. Don't be scared. Many survive, and a lot of it has to do with fear and thoughts when coping with a life-threatening condition. That was quick. Marley Monty. How do you get over dating heartbreak and stay hopeful in dating? You like that video, huh, Marley? You like that video? That was a good video. That's honestly, that's one of the videos that I'm most proud of. I really mean that because that was a one-take video. The video for those who are wondering is called "I Lost Her." I lost her. You can just YouTube it. That's a really good video because I just did it in the car. It's like 3 years ago, and I one-taked it, and that was raw, man, raw but real. How do you stay hopeful in dating? Well, all right. So let me take it step by step. How do you get over dating heartbreak, right? Um, The heartbreak is like, you should cherish that. You should like wholeheartedly embrace the heartbreak, because if you have real heartbreak from a relationship that didn't work out, um, that means that you actually had something real. There's millions of people out there who never had that. They never had that like real, true love and romance. And they can be married. These people that I'm talking about, they can be married, they can have partners, and yet they never knew what real love was. Like they just made a rational decision. They went somebody with money or with good looks, whatever. Um, Embrace the heartbreak. Embrace it. It means you're alive. It means that you have been given the opportunity to fucking live, to have lost. It's a beautiful thing. To have lived and have lost is so much better and more beautiful than never having lost at all. So it's just embrace it. Like the video I lost her, that was I'm proud of that, man. And that video came from heartbreak and rejection. And that made me the man I am today. All of the women that I met in my lifetime, all of the rejection, all of the heartbreak, all of the you're not good enough, that made me who I am today. Like, how could I ever, that's just, I'm incredibly grateful for that. And you should be too. How do you stay hopeful in dating? Don't make dating the goal. Don't make it like, live your life, be yourself. Don't go out there like, oh, I gotta find someone. Like, fuck that. Let it come to you. Let the game come to you. Don't try to force it. Don't try to force it. That's all I can tell you. Like, go all in on yourself. Put yourself first. Love yourself. Trust me. What you seek is seeking you. It'll come. Do you support no fap? Not really. I don't have an opinion on it. I always say it's better to do no porn than to do no fap. Yeah, big ego is a hard thing to have after a while. I have one too about my artwork. I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't trade my big ego for the world because it allowed me to. You need a big ego to walk around looking like Frankenstein's monster and still feel, good about yourself. So I feel like big egos get too much hate sometimes. I like my big ego, man. Doesn't mean you have to be a douche. Doesn't mean you have to let people down. All that stuff, it's not needed. Thank you, Gnarly. Hike, hey, wounded Ike, and I'm really lost in life. I have nothing to look forward to. I mean, I have no motivation for anything, and I don't know what to do. You need to make a drastic change. You need to literally like uproot yourself, get on a plane, go to a different continent, and reinvent yourself. Like you need to just do a full-blown reset at this point. If that's how you're feeling, like do something crazy. What do you got to lose? Your life is hell right now. You're depressed. You got nothing to look forward to. You need to do a full-blown reset. Literally, like book a flight to a different continent. Be somebody else. See what happens. Viking, what's your advice on not getting obsessed with our flaws and letting it control our lives? My advice is, why focus on your flaws? Like, go all in on your strengths. There has to be something that you're good at. Focus on that. Who cares? Like flaws. Why would you do that? Like, just literally, just if I focus on my flaws, I would literally be in bed crying right now. I decided to go all in on my strengths, and here I am. I can't give much. Like, yeah. I did. I did read. I wrote a chapter about that though. Send me an email, and I'll give you a free chapter talking about that for my upcoming book. That's my email right there. Crying hippie. My friend in South Africa was 62. Sister got COVID, died a week later. Her husband died. My friend died 2 days after diagnosis. Jesus, my condolences. Danny Viking. What do I think of? What do the thing? Hold on. Is it better to live a shorter, the more eventful and meaningful life versus a longer, the more mundane life? Yeah, I would say shorter is better. Sir Spade, how's my day? It's all right, man. I'm chilling. I'm chilling like a villain. I'm getting better though. From 1 to 100, how much do you believe in God? I don't believe in God. I believe, but not in God. Like not in the Catholic man in the sky God. Nope. Dakes, hope you're doing well in lockdown. Hey man, some days are good, some days are bad. Hanging in there though. Let dating be natural. Yes. What is your head circumference? I don't know, man. My girlfriend always tells me I got a small head though. She makes fun of my head. I got a small head, like a chicken. What's up, Chin? Hi, I have first military this summer. I can't get away. Jesus. Well, as soon as you can, get out, buddy. Also, if you want to work with me, anyone can hire me as your coach. We can do this on a personal basis, private video chat. You can hire me by sending me an email at lorenz.trees@gmail.com. If you want to turn your life around, let's do it. Stop playing. Do you think the coronavirus is one big hoax? Nope, I don't. Do you think there's actually any good therapists out there? Yeah, for sure there's good ones out there. There's that one out there too. Hey, I agree, crying hippie. Start with 15 minutes. Hiking, walking, put yourself into the world. Take yourself out of this virtual reality matrix nonsense and go out in the real world. How do you overcome depression and stress? Please. Oh man. Send me an email, I'll send you a chapter. Aiden, you didn't get a response? Dude, I'm so sorry. That's crazy. I'm so sorry, Aiden. Can you send me another email? Maybe I'm sorry if that's the case. Viking, what is your training split at this current point in time? I'm winging it, man. I'm doing a bunch of cardio, a bunch of bench pressing, deadlifting, dumbbell curls, pull-ups, leg races, and I just go by feel. Training has not been ideal, not at all, but trying to do what I can. Hit my body as hard as I can every day, but I don't have like a set split. Chat reacts. Hey Benzo, I'm having a problem. Got a girlfriend, I love her. Notice I'm a lot less sexually attracted to her. Also because of porn, of course, where a lot of chicks are who have the complete package. Yeah, this is a real issue with men. This is a real deal. If you're used to watching porn all the time, it's gonna become hard to, no pun intended. Your sex drive lessens in a real relationship because a real woman looks nothing like the women that you see on the internet. It's just like that because they're all fake. Um, Honestly, man, you need to go completely cold turkey on porn. Like literally, just never watch porn again. First of all, um, and talk to her about it. Communicate, conversate. First thing you need to do is get off the porn, and then just over time, your body and your senses will become more sensitive again. But you're not alone in this issue, man. A lot of people, a lot of guys have this. Your shoulders are broad. Thank you, man. That's from bench pressing. That's all from bench pressing. It's your huge shoulders. Your head is normal size. A reminder to look at huge shoulders, not normal size head. Viking, what do you give advice on? Anything specific? Danny, so I work with the needs of the client. So I give the client tells me what they're struggling with, what they want to improve, what's going wrong in their life, and I tell them what they should do. I give very hands-on practical advice. It can be anything. It can literally be about career, about dating, about how to dress, anything goes, anything. Can you tell what kind of God faith do you have? Well, I'm technically a Catholic Christian, but I'm not practicing. I believe in the universe, man. I believe in energy, if that's what you want to call it. I didn't get the vaccine yet. I'm waiting. I'm gonna when I'm able to get it, I'm gonna get it. You're welcome, man. You're welcome for the advice. How many bad days would you say you have every month or year? Let's put it in a month. Every month. I mean, I'm sure I have like 4 or 5 bad days, right? Yeah. Right after you get off. Oh, that's about porn. My sex drive is insane right now. I masturbate twice a day. I'm not even awfully young at 23. Well, 23 is still very young. How do I tone it down? You shouldn't tone it down. You should get into the gym, build some muscle. 23 is baby status. You're not. You're still very young. That's just testosterone, man. That's you being a healthy man. Be grateful. There's a lot of guys out there that would kill to have your testosterone level. How much do you charge for your services? Dan, if you don't mind, I would appreciate it if you could send me an email and then we can discuss it there. I don't like to discuss pricing on here. So send me an email and we'll go from there, all right? And then no strings attached. You can still do what you want to do. What are your thoughts on authors like Eckhart Tolle? I love him. The Power of Now is a staple. Everyone should read The Power of Now. It's sad that so many people think COVID is a hoax. Yeah, man. What do you expect, though, people? Viking, do you have less sympathy or anger for people who complain about relatively small problems compared to yours? No, I understand it. Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, if someone comes to me and they're depressed because their cat died, I'm not like, I fucking had cancer twice. Fuck your cat. Like, I'm not that, like, I understand that pain is pain. And it's not about, like, it's not a competition. If you feel, it's all about perspective and all about your frame of reference. So if you've never gone through anything, I fully understand you to be completely devastated if your cat dies. Like, I'm not gonna, it doesn't make the way that person feels doesn't necessarily have to be less significant than someone that has been suffering a lot feels. So I completely understand. I don't get angry. No, I do get annoyed when people like take health for granted. Danny, don't apologize, man. You didn't do anything wrong. But yeah, send me an email, man. We can talk. We can talk. I just hope when people get vaccinated. Yeah, man. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this live. If you appreciate me doing this for you guys, let's get the thumbs up popping. Also, if you want to support the channel, you are more than welcome to click on the $ below the chat box. It allows you to make a donation of your choice. Anything goes. $1 goes a long way in a lockdown. Yeah. Marley, what is your daily routine like? So I wake up, I make breakfast. Usually I will write in my book. Then I will. I always like to work out early in the day. I'll hit my workout in the morning. Then I'll come home and make lunch for me and my girl. Afternoon, I usually do client coaching. Most of the people that I work with are from the United States, so they wake up around 1-2 p.m. my time. That's when I do most of my coaching. Then usually I will go for a run later in the afternoon. Then it's already time for dinner, and after dinner I will usually go for a hike. Yeah, I do a lot of running and hiking. I need to be outside a lot. That's about it. I go to bed at 10 p.m. every night, early. What's your opinion on creatine? Creatine is one of the few things that actually works. It's a proven thing. You should definitely get on creatine. It's great. It's cheap and it works. It's awesome. What's up, Carl? CA, I see you, buddy. My legs are sore from playing basketball and riding my bike every day. Nice. Get after it. What time do you wake up? 7:15. Yep, I sleep from 10 to 7. So I got like a solid 9 hours of sleep. Yeah, 9 hours. What's the best country in Europe in terms of quality of life? Depends, man. If you have money, Spain is great. Like, if you're not making money from the local Spanish economy, for example, if you're making money on the internet, living in Spain is awesome. Now, yeah, like, it has good weather, good food, it's cheap. That being said, Belgium is also great, but the weather is not that good in winter. It all depends on what you're looking for, really. But Spain has great quality of life if you have enough money. If you don't, otherwise you're going to be working just to live there. Gabby, I'm good. You go to bed at midnight. Listen, man, every hour before midnight counts double in terms of recovery. That's my rule. I'm old school. How do I help my girlfriend with her insecurities? Communication. Talk to her. Make her understand that nothing is off the table. Nothing is undiscussable. So, and just be open about it. Address the elephant in the room. Viking, is there a good time to email you specifically? Email me right now, buddy. I will read it after this live and I will get back to you. Just email me right now and we can get it cracking. Snake, I like egg protein that is spendy. Eggs are not expensive. Dude, eggs are super cheap. I eat 3 eggs a day. I don't use creatine. I just load up on carbs for energy. Yep. Spain is for wealthy people. Well, I mean, not really. Spain is quite cheap. Spain is one of the cheapest countries in Europe. Like, rent and food and cost of living in Spain is really low. If you're trying to, a place that'll cost, you can rent a place in Spain for 800 euros. That would be 1,000 euros, in Belgium, or 1,100. It's not for like Barcelona and Madrid is more expensive than the rest of Spain, but still, it's still cheaper than the other countries in Europe. By the way, guys, I'm writing a book. It's called Rotten Lemons. If you're trying to get a free chapter, free of charge, you can send me an email and I'll give you a free chapter. Cheers. Have you visited any of the 8 wonders of the world? Let me check the list. I don't even know. Nope. Hold on. Colossus, Temple of Artemis, I did. No, most of these I haven't. No. Cost of living in my state is cheap. It bothers me when people complain about how expensive life is when they could just move to New Mexico. Yeah, man. Dorian Yates' gym is in Spain? Really? His favorite after-workout supplement is smoking weed. I had no idea Dorian Yates has a gym in Spain. I'm going to Google it, man. Marley. With my girlfriend's insecurities, we do communicate. The issue is that she seems to just keep falling in that same emotional cycle. I mean, you gotta stand by her. You gotta really like put in the work, put in the effort. But at one point, people have to be willing to make a change. So be patient, talk about it, keep going. But at some point, she's gonna have to get out of that cycle and make a move forward. And if not, like at some point, you're gonna have to start thinking about yourself. So I would also consider to go to therapy, like help her with that, like tell her it's okay to hire a therapist and someone professional, because at the end of the day it's hard for you to help her because you're her boyfriend, like you're playing 2 sides. Hi buddy, long time from India. Your beer is missing. If you all take moringa leaf powder daily, it will change your life. Well, I never even heard about that, but I'll keep it in mind for sure. I just left Dubai, such a beautiful place, but expensive. Now I'm in the Dominican Republic. I mean, I think that DR is better than Dubai, honestly. Never been to Dubai, but it just doesn't strike me as a place I would ever really want to check out. It just looks very fake to me, very artificial, very capitalistic, materialistic, all those things. Is intimacy sometimes an issue in a relationship? For sure it can be, absolutely. Sir Spade, I heard smoking weed makes your veins larger temporarily and that makes delivering nutrients for the muscles faster. No. If you're looking for a good fitness podcast, Mind Pump Podcast talks about that, and they have gone on record a few times. Smoking weed is not good for your gains in the gym. It's not. People want to believe it is, but it's not. Stay strong. All your past gains will return. Thank you, man. Thank you, David. Guys, 50 minutes in. I'm out. Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys one more time, if you want to hire me as your coach, if you're trying to turn your life around, if you want to do this on a personal video call basis, then you can hire me. Send me an email, lorenz.ruiz@gmail.com, and I can help you out. And that's about it, man. Danny, I'll be expecting your email, buddy. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this live. I appreciate you guys for being here. And thank you, big boy. Thank you. The best thing about quarantine for me, I finally got started on my book. Without quarantine, I wouldn't have done that. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this live stream. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe, stay blessed, take care of yourself, and I'll be back soon. Peace.